Hello, this is FGFM, who often posts under the name Hitchwatch here on YouTube. My main activity on here is promoting the glorious hitch hunt, and among other things I've noticed the Pat Condell phenomenon. Pat Condell phenomenon is fairly interesting because this fellow is basically unknown outside of the internet. He appears to have been a total failure as a comedian, and I use the term loosely. Just doing a little research on him, he appears to have played in whatever the equivalent of an off-Broadway show is in London. And it seems like his routine, back when he had hair, would be show up at some club and wind everybody up with saying offensive things, which is kind of a cheap trick. So the Condell phenomenon is interesting, as he's fairly popular on here, and I happen to be an atheist myself, and I don't think it's really a great intellectual achievement, and doesn't even rise to the level of a philosophy or an ideology, except in the case of militant atheists like Condell and Christopher Hitchens and Richard Dawkins, Sam Harris, to a lesser degree P.Z. Myers. And the funny thing about it, with the possible exception of Myers, they seem to, and Dawkins, they seem to pick favorites. Condell has said that he is not offended by non-evangelical religions. Well, the Hindus may not evangelize, but they certainly have an ideology as oppressive as anyone with the rigid caste system, and they also have participated in mob violence against Muslims and Sikhs in India. Sam Harris appears to be some kind of a Buddhist. Christopher Hitchens, who appears to be, his great-great-great-great-grandmother was Jewish, and if you're Jewish, according to some people, it's supposed to be going down your mother's side, even though he appears to be 1/32 Jewish by his brother's estimation. He insists in giving his children Jewish religious instruction over the objections of his second wife. I think that's a little odd. Let's let Pat roll here. We can take a look at this lunatic. This doesn't strike me as a real happy guy. He's wound up tighter than a clock, and he's just rambling on and on like he's mainlined a full pack of no-dos. Another funny thing is that he always claims that he doesn't care what anybody thinks, but he typically says how grateful he is to get emails from some pretend Muslims on the internet who like what he's talking about. What's entertaining about these guys is they seem to be very concerned about Muslims in particular, and they seem to be very upset about using the Sharia law in civil courts in the United Kingdom. Now this is problematic, and Condell claims that he's worried about people being coerced into agreeing to these arrangements. The problem is coercion is illegal under any form of law as far as I know. You know, I have studied law since I went to uni, of course, and coercion makes a contract null and void. And these people go on and on about Sharia law without seeming to have any real understanding of it. Now, I'm certainly not an expert at it, nor am I a lawyer. Sharia law seems to be different in some respects than the English common law. For example, they don't have the same concept of agency. If I had an agent working for me under Islamic law, I couldn't be held responsible for his misdeeds. Well, that certainly would be the case in the UK and in the US. I'm not sure what the case is under the Napoleonic Code. Funny thing about Condell is it looks like he's going to try out for some rogue mime troupe with this black. I think it's must be a little warmer around the Condell household since he doesn't have his usual button-down shirt. Another funny thing is that he never talks about. I don't know if this guy's ever had a real job or if he still works or what the hell he does. You know, he is. He seems to like to have this one-way conversation going because he doesn't allow anyone to post in his profile. And I sent him a note, and he claimed that he would let people post on his profile if they made him a friend. Well, I don't really want to have anybody think that I approve of his routine or add to the number of friends he's got, even though it's really meaningless. The reason why he doesn't let people post to his profile, it appears to be anything goes as far as the comments on his videos, is that he claims that people have been posting racist stuff on there, which may very well be the case. Condell's got a little problem because he claims to not be a supporter of the BNP, and he's probably not, but he has a little problem that people in the BNP, or people who think that way, seem to approve very much of his routine. And a lot of these militant atheists in general, when I go around and I make my little comments on videos and reply to people who post on my videos, I routinely am accused of being a Muslim, even though there's no evidence of that. I don't support Islam over any other false religion. I am 100% materialist, do not believe in any supernatural or metaphysical phenomena. I come from a mainstream Protestant background, and I've actually been an atheist since right after I was confirmed in my church.